comrades, how are you? My dear comrades, before I go into the details, let me make two things very clear. This type of agitations, this type of gate meetings will definitely not help us to secure a fair resolution that what we are demanding. The second thing is, as far as bank is concerned, as far as LIC is concerned, they demanded a wage revision, they fought for wage revision and they got a wage revision. In general insurance, are we demanding a wage revision or are we making a simple request to the management to give us a wage revision? There is a substantial difference between demanding wage revision and making a request for wage revision. When we demand wage revision, we also feel, and the management also feel, that it is a right of the employees and officers, so they are entitled for a wage revision and so they are demanding wage revision. When you make a request to wage revision, when you make an appeal to the management to give us wage revision, they don't feel it is a right of the employees. They feel it is their benevolence. They feel it is the government's benevolence to give the wage revision to the employees and officers. So there is a substantial difference between demanding a wage revision and requesting a wage revision. We should demand a wage revision. We should demand a wage revision because we know that we have got our parameters that the government says, whatever parameters that the management says, we have fulfilled all the parameters and demanding a fair wage revision for the employees and officers. The attitude of the management is very important here. When we demand wage revision, the attitude of the management is very important. This four company chairman, the top management in general insurance industry today, they are maintaining a very stoic silence whenever we put forth a demand for wage revision. They are maintaining a stoic silence. They are not answering to our queries. They simply say the paper is pending before the DFS. We do not know what is the role of the chairman of these companies. Why the chairman are putting the ball in the court of the DFS? Yes, DFS is ultimate authority. But are not the general managers and the chief, as the chairman of managing director, responsible to get a fair resolution for the employees and officers? Can they shift the responsibility that the ultimate authority rests with the DFS? So we will keep quiet. Whatever we want to do, whether it is agitation, whether it is a strike, whether it is a dharna, we will just send the report to DFS and do our business with. We cannot remain silent. This is the message that we have to take to the employees. Your chairman is not relenting to you, your chairman is not agreeing to you, your chairman is not hearing to you, or your chairman is not passing the message to the DFS means we have to intensify agitation. JFT, I want JFT will decide on these lines in the near future. The attitude of the government. We know the indifferent attitude of the government towards the public sector employees. We know the indifferent attitude of the government towards 50 crore farmers of this country. We know the indifferent attitude of the government towards the 45 crore workforce of this country. We know the indifferent attitude of the government towards 40 crores unorganized people of this country. We know the indifferent attitude of this government towards 30 crore downtrodden people of this country. We know the indifferent attitude of the government towards 20 crores youth of this country. No employment is there. The unemployment rate has gone up to 15%, 18%. The government is not bothered about it. The government is not bothered about the students, 10 crore students. How do we expect the government to bother a small section of 50,000 employees? The government will not bother about it. The government has attachment towards other section of people. A small section of people who are very close to them, and that is what is called as cronyism. And that is what we call as chronic capitalists. A small section of people, 1,000 people in this country, in India, owns 51% of the wealth of this country. 51% of the wealth is owned by just 1,000 people of this country. The government is not going to tax them. The government will increase the petrol price. The government will increase the diesel price. The government will say thousands of reasons when you demand wage revision. But the government will not talk about the corporates who have earned crores and crores of profit during the pandemic period. When our brothers, when our sisters have lost their job in IT companies, when many of our friends have lost their job in other private companies, there are 1,000 people who have earned crores and crores of rupees in the pandemic period. Are we not justified in asking for a wage revision? The management has sent a notice. Even before the JFT issue a circular, what are the programs that we are going to observe in the days to come? The management got a copy of the circular and immediately they sent a notice to all the employees. that the demonstration that we are doing today is illegal. The government, the management has said. It is unjustified. It is unwarranted. We are asking the management now, what is illegal? To protest for a fair wage revision, do you term it as illegal? When was the last wage revision given to the general insurance employees? 2012 August. What is the basic pay of an officer in 2012 August? What was the basic pay of an assistant in 2012 August? It was 32,000 rupees per officer, 14,400 rupees for an assistant. How many liters of petrol whether the officer in 2012 out of his basic would have got? How many liters of petrol? Can we say it is 500 liters? And how many liters of petrol the same officer, after putting 10 years of service in Redden Insurance Company, how many, which is salary, with this increased salary in the name of DA, if he takes his gross salary to the market, how many liters of petrol can he get? The same 500 liters means, where is the wage increase? Where is the wage increase? The inflation has taken away, robbed my money, whatever increase you gave as a DA. And DA is not a correct figure also. DA is a manipulated figure. That is why we are demanding wage revision. My life has got, my salary has got eroded since 2012. It is not the same 14,400 or 32,000 what that we are getting it as 60,000 or 30,000 that we are getting today. It has got eroded due to inflation. That is why we are demanding wage revision. There is a Supreme Court judgment. When some employees went to the court, when some management went to the court, telling that these employees do not deserve a wage revision, the Supreme Court said, if a status of an employee has to be improved, the status of the employee has to be improved. I joined the industry, when I joined the industry, I came with a bicycle. When I retire after 40 years, if I still own a bicycle, then that is the question of improving my status after joining this it's called a giant industry, a prestigious industry. I still retire as a bicycle means that my status has not improved. This is called sustenance. What we say, status has to improve. That's why Supreme Court judgment has said that if an employee who joined the industry, if his status has to be improved, a periodical wage revision should be given to the employees and officers. That is why we are asking a wage revision. I'm not going to the performance of our company. The performance of our company on all parameters is above par. Companies, I am telling the government, you just give us the autonomous and ask our general managers to discuss with the unions about wage revision. I know the general manager accounts a very able man in Redden Insurance Company. I do not know about other companies. He can say how the wage revision can be given to the employees and officers. He knows everything. He can say how the employees' funds can be allocated for giving wage arrears to the employees and officers. How the provisioning is given in general insurance companies. After 2014-15, who has to give an IBNR provision? Why all these things have been given? We are demanding, we are asking. We give the autonomous to the general managers, we give the autonomous to the chairman. Let us discuss, don't dictate from we are asking the DFS, don't interfere in the affairs of the general insurance companies. You said when you promised it, when you were elected into the power, you said minimum government, maximum governance. What is happening in India today? It is maximum government. It is not even government. Government means a team of MPs. MPs, the parliament is the government. Or we can say cabinet is the government. It is not the government also. It is 1, 2, 3 people in the cabinet who decide the entire thing for the 130 crore people of this country. It is not minimum government. It is maximum. These 3 people, along with the coterie, along with the cronism, are dictating the terms for the whole country today. It is not maximum governance. Where is the governance today? Can my CMD call me for a wage revision today or tomorrow? Does he have the right to call me for a wage revision? He does not have the right. Can my CMD go and advertise in a newspaper for recruiting assistants and officers in general insurance industry? He doesn't have the right to recruit employees and officers for his own company. What right my CMD has? My CMD has only right to report to the DFS. So where is the maximum governance? So these are the very important issues that we have to put forward before the employees. And we say, some of my friends said that the crowd is very less today. The participant is very less today. We are not going to get anything if the crowd is going to be less. And if we are not going to get anything unless and until we intensify the agitation. We should know the class character of this government today. The class character of this government, the man ki baat, the man mein pyar hai, that pyar is not towards us. That pyar is not towards the ordinary employees and officers. That pyar is towards only the corporates. So we have to understand It is not Sabka Vikas. It is only for selecting people the Vikas is taking place in India. So we should have some Vikal. Vikal means alternatives. There should be an alternative policies. There should be an alternative economic policies, alternative politics, alternative society setup that alone will help us to get a better resolution in the industry and also in other industries also. When comrades said here that the industry is going to be privatized, yes, they are going to privatize all the industries, not only insurance industry. The government has a roadmap. Before 2024, before the government is elected out of power, the government wants to privatize and hand over it to corporates. This is the intention of the government. And if that is the intention of the government, if you are very lethargic, if you are not bothering about all these things, if you are not participating in the demonstration, if you are not participating in the struggles or strikes, definitely nobody can save us in this year. So let us all agitate, let us also prepare ourselves for a bigger struggle. JFT, I hope JFT will give us all for bigger struggles in the future. Without bigger struggle, without understanding that it is our demand, not a request, we will not be able to achieve any of the issues that we are put forward before the management of the government. So let us prepare ourselves, let us prepare for a bigger battle, and with this I come to the front. Thank you, comrades.